Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News as we celebrate 25 years of broadcasting excellence. This bulletin is coming to you live from the Joy 99.7 FM studios here in Kokomlemle at digital address GA0993341. Also live on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi, affiliates across the country including ATL FM in Cape Coast, Radio Mass in Takrady, and Jubilee FM in Keta. It's on ABN Radio in London and around the world at myjoyonline.com. The news is brought to you by UMB Bank, UMB Speed Up, Digibank, Let's Go, and Teleso 4G. Just a touch in this edition with Ghana's cases of COVID-19 almost at 3,000. Health authorities assure situation is under control. Meanwhile, Ghana to produce test results of COVID-19 samples from Thursday as backlog of samples has been cleared.
About 130,000 tests done so far. Just an outstanding backlog of about 1,982 to complete. About 2,000. Let's say both.
We have details as the officials say 130,000 samples have so far been tested in laboratories mandated to do so. Thousands of hospitality workers joined the unemployment train after they were laid off in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. Today we highlight the story of a chef struggling to fend for his family.
And after working for people for so many years, there's a person who say, go home and I'll pay you 1 month. A lot of thinking, what is next?
Also in the bulletin.
If you have made a mistake in the past with an agreement and you have a chance to correct it, must you repeat your mistake?
After a 2-year legal battle initiated by opposition NDC, Supreme Court unanimously upholds Ghana-US military cooperation agreement as legal, more as the party's lawyers await details of the judgment.
We can't make anything out of it because the Supreme Court did not give the reasons why. When we get the reasons, we will know why the Supreme Court is saying an agreement that was not even signed by the government of Ghana. It's a legal binding instrument on the state.
And in sports,
Ghana's COVID count in comparison to other top football nations, not enough justification for the return of the Ghana Premier League. That's according to member of the CAF Medical Committee, Dr. Prince Pambo.
And later on the spotlight.
I'm just trying to be myself. I just want to stay original. I spit in my own language. People think I'm limited. I don't believe that. I'm heading straight to the Grammys. Take it or leave it. It's a biddy.
We shine the light on multiple award-winning rapper Sarkodie, who has risen to world acclamation with his music and staying relevant for more than a decade. That's coming up here on the Midday News with me, Emefa Apawu. I'll give you details from the just ended press conference at the Ministry of Information. But first, thousands of employees in the hospitality industry, including hotels, sent home in March will be paid no salaries for April. Indeed, there's no pay in sight as long as COVID-19 exists, and the borders remain closed as foreigners are Ghana hotels' main source of income. Top chef Andrew Pepra is one of the thousands who are reeling under the dire situation with a burden to cater for 5 children. Mamiesi Nyamiche Thompson has a story.
42-year-old Andrew Pepra worked with the Mahogany Lodge as a head chef. Before the invasion of the coronavirus, he had great expectations for the year. However, like many of his colleagues in the hospitality industry, he was dealt a big blow when he was asked to go home with only a month's pay after 12 years of service. He has 5 children and a wife.
When the COVID started, we were told we have a meeting with the management, their lawyers, and they advised them that then they should terminate our letters and give us 1 month's pay. See, it just came impromptu, so we were not really prepared for.
Now Andrew spends his time combing every nook and cranny of the capital for a job to help him take care of his family.
I've called some of the colleagues, friends, to look for a job for me. I'm I've told friends, and this is the situation I find myself now. So if there is any opportunity somewhere, they should call me and let me know.
But his bosses in the industry are also facing extremely challenging times. Hotels are closing down because of income streams dried up. A meeting held between the Ghana Hoteliers Association and the Industrial Workers Union failed to agree on salary payments for April. President of the Hotels Association is Dr. Edward Aka Nyameke. He tells me that it's hard to send their workers home, but they have little choice under the circumstances.
The revenues or the inflow has been cut. And the big question is, where do we get the money to pay salaries? That's a big question. Where do we get money to pay salaries when there's virtually no work? Completely no work. So what the hotels said yesterday was that, yes, we cannot talk about salaries at this point in time.
For Andrew, who has to take care of 5 children and a wife, he hopes to get a job soon.
That's Mamiesi Nyameche Thompson's report. There will continue to put the spotlight on the impact of COVID-19 on employment. Now, the Supreme Court has in a unanimous decision upheld as legal Ghana's military cooperation agreement with the United States of America. In 2018, the Ashanti Regional Youth Organizer of the NDC, Broja Jamfi, sued government, insisting the agreement was not in the interest of the state. He urged the Apex Court to set aside the agreement. A 7-member panel of justices presided over by Chief Justice Kwesi Enin-Yeboah earlier today described the case as unmeritorious. Shortly, we'll speak to our court correspondent Joseph Akablay for details. But first, Joy News' editor Araba Kumsin has a recap of events leading to the NDC's decision to take the matter up in court.
In March 2018, Defense Minister Dominic Nituwo laid before Parliament a document seeking to ratify an agreement to allow for joint military training exercises between the Ghana government and the U.S. Even before that, Joy News had intercepted a copy of the deal, which revealed, among others, that the U.S. troops will pay no taxes for equipment brought into the country and use Ghana's radio spectrum to set up their own communication system free of charge. The deal came under heavy criticism by the minority and some civil society groups, which alleged it included a request by the Americans for the establishment of a military base in Ghana. But Dominic Nituwo strongly denied the claim. Minority leader Haruna Idrisu argued the document did not have any signatures and could not be executed.
That's a brief background leading to this particular issue. We'll go on the phone lines now and speak to my colleague Joseph Akablay. He's been in court all day and joins us with details of that. So, Joseph, any specific reasons given by the court for his decision, and what have the lawyers been saying about it?
No reasons were offered. Chief Justice Kwesi Enin-Yeboah, who presided over by the 7-member panel, made a point that the court intends to put together its reasoning in the judgments and written judgments, which will be made available at the court for the lawyers and parties in the case to pick it up and read and understand the reason for the decision. I've been speaking to Emefa Apawu. He represents Mr. Jamfi. He makes the point that they are unable to decide what's next because they don't know why the court will say that an agreement which was not signed by the president before it went to parliament is legal. We can listen to him.
Can't make anything out of it because the Supreme Court did not give the reasons why it dismissed the case against the government.
But does this end the matter for you? I mean, once the court essentially is saying that there's nothing wrong with the agreement.
Well, they dismissed the case, and we don't know why they did that because as it is now, we've not been afforded, the opportunity to look at the reasons. When we get the reasons, we will know why the Supreme Court is saying that an agreement that was not even signed by the government of Ghana is a legal binding instrument on the government or the state. I think in the coming days, we will be able to expatiate or even question what the Supreme Court decision has been. But for now, I can't engage in any technical analysis of the decision.
Now, that's Emefa Apawu there. Joseph, you're still with me on the line. We understand there was another decision relating to the bond issued by government in 2018. Give us the background of that case and what the court had to say about it.
It had to do with a $2.25 billion bond issued by government in 2018. The finance minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, was accused by the NDC and the minority in Parliament, for that matter, of issuing the bond to his family and friends. The matter went to Shraj, and Shraj cleared the finance minister of the allegation of conflict of interest, despite finding that not all his interests in various companies that may have been related to this particular transaction had been declared. The Dynamic Youth Movement disagreed with Shraj's findings and went to the Supreme Court, asking the Supreme Court to set aside Shraj's findings, insisting that the Supreme Court went beyond its jurisdiction. The Supreme Court delivered its judgment. This was also presided over by Chief Justice Kwesi Enim-Yeboah. Just as they did for the military cooperation agreement, they only described it as unmeritorious, indicating that the full decision of the court will communicate the basis for its decision. But with this particular matter out of the way, it means that there is no pending case relating to the issuance of the bond, and Shraj's decision stands that the finance minister did no wrong in that particular transaction.
That's our court correspondent Joseph Akable bringing us the latest from court today. Now, over 200 nomadic families have been displaced at Goriba and Zamwara in the Mamprugu Moiduri districts after several armed natives raided two settlements and set them ablaze in a fresh violence between the Fulani ethnic community and the local farmers in the northeast region. The violence was triggered on Saturday after a confrontation between a Mamprusi farmer and yet to be identified man who was said to be a Fulani herder and attacked the farmer at his farm in Goriba. The farmer is said to be in critical condition at a local treatment facility around Mankarigu in the Savannah region. Ahmed Barry is national organizer of Tabital Pulaku.
From Goriba, a village between Yagaba and Kubore, that they are under attack. When we asked the reason, we were told that one farmer left his gun when he was going to fetch water, and then he alleged that one cattle herdsman or a Fulani man has come to pick his gun. After he picked the gun, he requested for the gun back, and then he told him that he should give the gun back to him. And the cattle herdsman told him he will choose either his life or maybe he should forget about the gun. Knowing that he doesn't have any bullets in the gun, told him to bring the gun back. So he was going to struggle with him and get the gun back from the cattle herdsman. He was thinking that there was no bullet in it. Before he realized the Fulani man has put in, or the cattle man has put in bullet in the gun and shot at him twice at the chest, and he struggled till the cattle man made away with the gun. So based on this, he went to report it to Goriba chief with the assemblyman. According to him, he was rescued by some women who took him home, and then later they came back with the assembly of the area to Goriba. The linguist, they met with the linguist. The linguist told them that the third person that they are claiming, they don't know him, and because of that, he cannot do anything about it. But then they should go and report at the police so that the police will go and do the investigation into the matter. After 15-20 minutes, they came back. The youth came back to attack the Fulanis. From there, they went to Zamwara and attacked Fulanis there.
That's the national organizer of Tabital Pulaku, Ahmed Barry. Let's go on the lines now and speak with our Northeast correspondent, Ilyasu Tanko. Ilyasu, what's the status of those who have been displaced?
Well, because of the nature of the area, it's very difficult to get any update with regards to the state of the displaced herders. What we are learning is that when the incident happened, all of them have run into the bush. And so as of now, the police have not been able or are yet to give us the state exactly what is happening to these displaced people. But we understand some of them who were rescued by some residents are currently sleeping under trees in the bush in those villages.
So, Ilyasu, we'll stay with you whilst you position yourself properly because we are told that the Ghana Immigration Service in the Northeast region, in a joint operation with the military, has also arrested some 23 nationals. Tell us a bit about it.
Well, this is an operation that was conducted by the Ghana Immigration Service. The operation started on Friday through Saturday and Sunday, and we understand some 23 foreign nationals made up of about 15 Togolese and 8 Burkinabes, and they were arrested when a bus traveling from Garu to Kumasi was intercepted at Napanduri upon a tip-off. And so that is the situation. When they were questioned, they said they were going to Kumasi to engage in some farm business. But because of the current situation, the Immigration Service have to return them back to their country. So as to speak, all the 23 nationals have been returned to Togo and Burkina Faso respectively.
That's our Northeast Regional Correspondent Ilyasu Tanko there. Now let's head back to Accra because Ghana will be able to do daily testing of COVID-19 samples from Thursday as the backlogs of case samples have been cleared. The country has so far recorded 2,719 cases with 18 deaths. Speaking at a press briefing a short while ago in Accra, Information Minister Kojo Nkrumah stated 130,000 samples have so far been tested in laboratories mandated to do the testing, with about 2,000 yet to be tested.
About 130,000 tests done so far. Just an outstanding backlog of about 1,982 to complete. About 2,000, let's say about 2,000. And once that is done, then we should clear the backlog, and we're expecting this to be done by Thursday, so that from Thursday onwards, we'll begin to have a 24-hour rolling database. That gives us an idea of what the daily infection rates, etc., that are being discovered now. That's number one. So after about 130,000 tests, infection rate still under 2%, or positivity rate still under 2%. Looking at your morbidity rate, your mortality rate, what do we know so far about this COVID-19 as it is playing out in Ghana? And as the minister is telling us that we should make up our minds that the virus will be in the world for a while, but it is lifestyle change that we need to focus a lot more attention on.
That's the Information Minister Kojo Nkrumah. My colleague Maxwell Agbagba sat in at that press conference for Joy News. He joins me in studio. So there are some concerns following the increasing number of cases of COVID-19, and the presidential advisor has been giving some assurances on that.
Yeah. He says we are beginning to see the benefits of the stringent measures put in place by the president. He says with Ghana's case counts, about 88% of those cases, the patients are asymptomatic. As it stands right now, we do not have any patients in intensive care units. He says we are lucky.
So the dynamics from the figures that we have is quite different from what we are seeing in other countries. It doesn't mean that we are out of the doom. If you don't continue the things that have been put in place by the leadership of this country, then it means we may go back to where the other people also are. So we will continue, as the president has already been saying, we will continue to work of science and data. So from the science and data that we have seen, we've realized that the dynamics is quite different from other countries, both in the West Africa sub-region, and also in the whole world. So what the minister said initially is something that we all have to abide by. If you want to be your brother or your sister's neighbor, don't go out without wearing mask. If you have nothing to do at all, don't go out. You may be in this situation that we are strong, you can have the positive case, but you will not be sick. And if you look at even the numbers that we have, those who are well and responding to treatment, out of the 2,719, 88% of those people are well and responding to treatment, either in the facilities or in isolation or at home.
So that's the presidential advisor, Dr. Insia Sari. Now, Maxwell, the Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Patrick Abuaji, also took his turn, and he raised concerns about the decline in access to other healthcare services.
He says because of the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of people are not going out there to seek other healthcare services. So they're beginning to see a decline in, let's say, antenatal visit outpatients, department cases, and many others. And he's warning that if we do not do anything to nip it in the bud, we'll begin to see repercussions.
We have a high infection rate, low death. What it means is that this disease may stay with us, as the minister said, and that we need to be ready until we discover we have an effective vaccine. This disease is going to be with us. Despite all these seemingly high figures, which we actually search for to be able to isolate and contain, the infection rate in this country remains low in comparison with other countries, as I mentioned earlier. This tells us that the measures that we have put in place, that we have also avoided with tested as well. The disease have started affecting other sectors, including the health sector. At the first quarter of our review, we have had immunization services coverage coming down. We have growth promotion of children coming down, coverage coming down, antenatal and outpatient attendance are declining. If this goes on, it will have consequential effects on the health outcomes in the end. Measures have been put in place that allows us to be able to provide services for you in safety, but still to encourage you all to make access care so that we do not have another challenge on our hands because of reduced access to care. What it means that those who are sick may not be taking care, and that is not what we want. Institutionalizing and adhering to these few measures, which we say from the ministry.
That's the Director General of the Ghana Health Service. Of course, the Minister of Health was also there, and it looks like he was heavy on the wearing of nose masks.
Exactly. He says, in spite of the campaign on the wearing of face masks, some people, recalcitrants, are not wearing, the face masks. In fact, he stated that if you want to die and don't want to wear your face mask, you can die, but others do not want to die.
Don't drag us along. Yeah. Now, the issue about politicization of the figures also came up. The Information Minister had
the Information Minister has been speaking about that. In fact, he's urging faith-based organizations and civil society organizations to call out the culprits, persons who want to politicize COVID-19 here in Ghana.
Thank you very much, Maxwell Agbagba. He's just returned from that press conference. This is the midday news here on Joy 99.7 FM with Ghana's cases of COVID almost at 3,000. Health authorities assure that the situation is under control. When we return shortly from the break, later on, Spotlight.
I'm just trying to be myself. I just want to stay original. I spit in my own language. People think I'm limited. I don't believe that.
And we get to shine the light on multiple award-winning rapper Sarkodie, who has risen to world acclamation with his music and staying relevant for more than a decade. Also sports.
UMB was established in 1972 as the premier bank for the corporate and private sector in Ghana. From our very beginning, as the only Ghanaian bank serving all categories of businesses, we set a standard for excellence and innovation over the past 45 years. We've built a financially healthy and strong bank, demonstrated our commitment to our customers and to growing businesses, and exhibited originality and innovation at every turn. At UMB, our focus is built around people, service, products, and technology. These are the key to our present success and our future triumphs. At UMB, we are poised to make a difference not only with our customers, but also in the banking industry. We invite you to share in our future. Our future starts now with you.
This Mother's Day, Joy Prime, Hit FM, Asampa FM, and Frightel brings you My Mother, My Hero promotion to celebrate mothers in the medical field and frontliners for their commendable role in the fight against the COVID-19 here in Ghana. To be part of this promotion, send your entry as a child, biological or otherwise, in 50 words why your mother in the frontline should be celebrated. Send it via email to promotions@myjoyonline.com or on WhatsApp 0559 732 432. Entry starts from now till Friday, 8th of May, and you stand a chance of winning a special gift package for your mom. Add full contact details of you and your mother for validation. My Mother, My Hero promotion is sponsored by Frightel. Frightel, making life memorable.
Thanks for staying with us here on the Midday News. Time for sports. Hans?
And Emefa, the German Bundesliga is set to be given the all-clear to return as early as the 15th of May. England's Premier League has tabled a June 15 return date despite recording more than 150,000 cases and over 28,000 deaths. Here in Ghana, the argument for the resumption of the Ghana Premier League often point to Ghana's COVID count in comparison to those of some of the top football nations. Member of the CAF Medical Committee, Dr. Prince Pambo, says the return of the Ghana Premier League cannot be premised on what is happening in other countries.
If a quarter of what happened in Italy, in Spain, happens here in Ghana, would have been grounded to zero. Our healthcare system is not as robust as those countries. Most of the places where football or sport is supposed to be returning in the next month or few days are going to be playing in empty stadia with a lot of restrictions. In this country, we do not have that much of a capacity to even play in empty stadia. Most of the stadiums where our Premier League club play just a few of them, about 5 or so, can boast of a good stadium where you can say this stadium can be enclosed. So playing in an empty stadium is an option, but not a very good option for our system here. In fact, how many of our league games are even on TV? So one, fans cannot watch anything on TV. Already club owners are complaining of what? Lack of money. Most of our clubs depend 100% on what? Gate proceeds. Now, if fans are not going to go, then that particular source of what? Making money is also cut. So you realize that those measures which seem to be working for the EPL, which seem to probably be working for the Bundesliga or for the Serie A, are not going to be things which will work for us.
Dr. Prince Pombo is a member of CAF's medical committee.
Thank you very much, Hans. Now, the Ketu South Municipal Assembly says it has begun processes of procuring drones to monitor the unapproved route. This, the Assembly says, is to ensure strict enforcement of the President's directive. In April, 6 persons who tested positive for novel coronavirus in the Volta region were foreigners who illegally entered Ghana. The Ketu South Municipal Chief Executive Elliot Agbenowu said the drones will complement efforts that have already been taken by the Ghana Immigration Service.
We're looking at acquiring some drones to assist in monitoring of the beats and the pillars, because reports keep coming that there are some people who are still assisting people to cross. But it's all been a wild big change so far, because we're unable to get hold of somebody. We normally do it on our blind channel. We think that when the drone is able to patrol, take some pictures and videos, and we capture 1 or 2 people and they log in them, that will deter a lot of people again.
That's Mr. Agbeno there. Back to the studios, and it's time for entertainment. Becky is here. Where's the red hair?
So he broke out onto the music scene with something different, a fusion of his mother tongue and the English language to create music that appeals to all manners of persons. Sarkodie has since risen to world acclaim with dozens of hit songs and playing shows home and abroad. Sark is the big winner at the 2023 Music Awards. Today on Spotlight, we present to you
When then underground rapper Michael Owusu-Addo, better known as Sarkodie, made an appearance on Adom FM's popular rap competition, Kasahari Level, I'm sure he dreamed of a day like this, when he would rise to world acclaim, arguably Ghana's biggest music export.
I think I'm on course. Exactly what my thoughts tell me. I've not proven myself wrong yet. I like almost everything that's happened. The last thing where I want be attention. The whole of Africa be me with the dimension.
Today, the rapper has graced several local and international stages with his music, largely staying true to a style many young singers and rappers aspire to have.
I'm just trying to be myself. I just want to stay original. I spit in my own language. People think I'm limited. I don't believe that. I'm heading straight to the Grammys. Take it or leave it. So bid it.
With 5 albums to his name and an elite array of singles, Sarkodie has arrived. He has come to stay, and no wonder anything he touches turns into gold. From politics to development, love to everyday issues, the award-winning rapper has a hang on it.
I want to say a big thank you to the Almighty God, to my family. This one is for my little girl, TT. Daddy loves you. A shout to Akon. I see you. Akon saw the dream. I think Africa's always had it, and it's about that time.
And as music rivalries go, King Sark has also had lyrical wars, if you like, with Manifest, Shatta Wale and the like, and more recently, Asem. But maybe this one with Shatta Wale goes beyond just a lyrical banter.
If being poor be like me, then Father, I beg you just bless me with poverty.
And while we still wait for the two to get back to being friends again, COVID-19 says no way. King Sark is one of a host of Ghanaian celebrities stuck out there as Ghana's borders remain shut and the world battles the virus.
I'm perfectly fine, but I'm still stuck here in the States. I really do miss home. But as much as I miss home, I totally understand these measures taken to control the pandemic.
But, like Reporters Without Borders, far away in Washington, D.C., Michael Owusu-Addo is still thrilling fans. And no, he's taking us back to the days of Azonto. And guess what? By hooking millions.
Midday news never who came in.
What was this thing about Kabute?
Oh, Kabute. You don't know Kabute.
Tell me about it.
So I don't know Kabute.
You know. And that's it for the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. There's more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com. I am Emefa Apawu. Thanks for your company. Dr. Mensah Otabil is up next.